And it goes on to say that nobody's going to read it. I mean, this, folks, they're going to turn millions of the new youth brigades, their new paid job, they admit, this is mainstream news, to inspect your house.
And there are people that are on board with it, too. I have some liberal family members that truly believe that green energy and all that's the way to go.
It has nothing to do with green energy, though. See, they always mention all these reasonable things and then tag on the tax. Or every nature show says all the animals on Earth are going to die unless we have a carbon tax. And so people go, well, I want to save the puppy dogs. I want to save the otters. I want to save the polar bears. They can't swim.
It was an inside job by the well-connected. Your little protest, summarily rejected.
While you were sleeping, they came and took it all away. But we can't just accept that business as usual is a bunch of criminals robbing us, or the crimes will get bigger and bigger and they'll go for everything, which they're now doing. And then after they get total power over us, they still have to keep squeezing and pushing. They're competitive, they're ruthless, they're control freaks, so what are they going to do? Well, I'll tell you what they do time and time again in history. They engage in hardcore tyranny. They start engaging in mass extermination. That's the final extension of all of this. It's what these people do over and over and over and over again. H.R. 2454. We're going to be giving those numbers out on air throughout the show today because Al Gore is in the Associated Press saying he's running a nationwide phone campaign to have people call the U.S. Congress. Call them and you tell those crooks that even if they support global taxation to the private offshore banks and support bureaucrats being in our everyday lives and satellite tracker boxes in all cars to tax us by the mile and taxes on all coal plants and power plants and home inspections and business inspections and taxes on beef and poultry and anything that generates carbon, taxes on breathing, as the New York Times says it, that even if they're for this evil, they can't vote on something they haven't read, that the people haven't had 1 hour to look at. They're set to vote in the next few hours, ladies and gentlemen. Call them now. Because if it goes to the Senate, it's going to be a done deal. And then they're going to slowly, incrementally implement it. Because if they come down and implement it overnight, people will rebel. So they'll slowly bring in the taxes. Oh, it's only a 1% tax on your car by the mile. Oh, it's only a home inspection. Come on, it's for the earth. It's going to save you money anyways. It's green technology. But it's the power for them to control what you do, what you buy, what you build, everything. And it's all selectively enforced. So the Congress is in session right now. '111th and 11th Congress, first session. Got to stop this right now. 202-224-3124. 202-224-3124. And you mainly need to focus on the Democrats, though they've got some Republicans saying they're going with it. And notice all of this is happening as the economy implodes, as GM goes under, as Chrysler goes under, is hacked up in pieces, handed off to foreign corporations with bailout money on top, just as a sweetener. Oh, yeah, when they rape you, they make you pay the bill to be raped. 202-224-3124 or 202-225-1904, 202-225-1904. Call it. Pick a Democrat congressman in your area. Go to the Campaign for Liberty. They've got a good map on there for your state and who the Congress people are. Call the media, too. Call in the local talk radio and say, look, the climate bill. Call Congress, not Michael Jackson, some sad, abused child with his demonic family, who then clearly became a pervert, who got away with it because of his incredible money, who bought into Madison Avenue's insecurity and into image so much that his nose was literally falling off of him, has now died reportedly from a narcotics overdose. And they let him sit there even though they knew he couldn't breathe until they called 911 till he'd stopped breathing. It does look very shady, and that'll be endlessly debated, and they'll throw that out while the Iran overthrow continues, while the police state continues, while the depression continues. The next 3 months as they pass the total banker takeover, the federal takeover of all water supplies above ground and below ground, total federalization of the entire United States, total global taxation, hate crimes, speech crimes, banning free speech, federal felonies of the feds so you hurt somebody's feelings, cyberbullying, all of it racing through and passing because all we're going to hear is every facet of Michael Jackson. It is such a sick joke. And the police landing with a helicopter to get his dead body. Oh, my goodness. Some guy who dressed up in a clown outfit who liked to mess with little kids that he'd adopted that CPS had grabbed from other people. Ladies and gentlemen, we take this radio show very, very seriously. My family's going into total bondage right now. The New World Order that they've been setting up for decades is now upon us. Total control of our lives. Absolute tyranny. No Bill of Rights. No Constitution. World dictatorship run by bankers. And I can't help it that I am on the verge of exploding. And I am disgusted by the bug-eyed, moronic, idiotic public who are running around talking about Michael Jackson all day when it doesn't mean anything. The guy is a disgusting, pathetic, weirdo clown with a bunch of foster kids that he got from that were jacked from their families by the CPS. I mean, this is a demon-run government. And just everything about Michael Jackson makes me sick. And I can't stand the New World Order changing the subject off of Iran and the police state and the collapsing economy and the depression and the banker takeover of the carbon cycle and them telling the idiot public polar bears can't swim. I mean, I'm just sick of it. I've got the government's own reports. The ice sheet got the biggest it's ever gotten in 150 years. Coldest winter on record in 100+ years. Giant ice sheet thickening, and they're saying it's all melting and we're all going to die. I'm just sick of it. And there's no way I can't take this as serious as I do. Last night, I was just so upset last night, working until like 1 a.m. And I tried to go to bed, and I had to get up and start working again, and I can't stop it. I hate these people. I hate con artist criminals winning and having their way with us. Now, the reason I was flipping out earlier is all these numbers I've given out are good. They were good last night. They were tested last night. They did work last night. Numbers I was given today were working just a few minutes ago. So what they're doing is they are, I guess, getting so many calls that the lines are so busy it just says disconnected, or they're playing some games, or they flipped them over to other numbers. But as of 3 minutes ago, as we went down the line with 4 people calling all these congressional numbers, we found one that works. Now, I don't know if this is going to work in 5 minutes. It was working 3 minutes ago. This is the main Capitol switchboard for your representative and senator or others you want to call. Now, this is working 3 minutes ago. I don't know if this is going to work now. I shouldn't have to do everything. Go find the numbers and keep yourselves from being enslaved by these parasites. I'm sorry. I got to settle down. It'd be like if you come out in your garage and somebody's in it stealing all your tools. Wouldn't you get mad if they were stealing a couple $1,000s in tools? If somebody knocked your window out and stole your stereo, a couple $100, would you get mad? It's the violation. It's the raping. It's the being pushed around. It's that scumbag is getting in your business and your territory. Well, this is light years worse. This is swarms of bureaucrats sent out to eat out our substance. It's so outrageously corrupt, so outrageously evil, and on top of it, it was 1,300 pages yesterday. Mainstream news is saying they've added 200 to 300 pages more. No one's allowed to see the thing. I'm calling Congress, and they're saying they can't give us the bill, and they're about to vote on it. They're complete, absolute criminal trash. And I try to, quote, follow all their baloney laws. I try to be civil. But, man, I can't take much more of your crap, you criminal filth. Bunch of Michael Jacksons up there. Most of them are pedophiles. It's come out in the news. Always trying to rape the pages. All the anti-pedophile groups constantly get caught raping kids. I just can't believe how scum-filled this country and world is. I just want to live my life and be a decent person and be left alone by you criminal freaks. Okay, all right. I try not to get mad, folks, and I just really feel like turning over the desk, smashing windows out. You know, there's a reason I quit working out 10 years ago. Because back when I was running 6 miles every other day and lifting weights for 2 hours, 4 or 5 days a week, and when I could bench press 330 pounds when I weighed 180 pounds and I could squat 600 pounds, I constantly wanted to tear people's heads off.